Hello, folks. This is movie Metal Rock McDonald here, aka Jared, and I'll just share my thoughts on this news about James Bond. And this rumor or prediction, I should say, is going around some actor named Josh O'Connor being the next James Bond. Now, I think people are kind of I would say figuring out over nothing. Because first of all, this is just a prediction slash rumor going around. It has not been confirmed that he's gonna be the next James Bond. So there's that, and people are upset um that are upset that Henry Cavill is possibly not playing James Bond. And like I said, well, why they're casting this? Other people said on Twitter, why are they casting this guy as James Bond and not Henry Cavill? And, okay, first of all, it's a rumor. It's just a prediction that the Hollywood Reporter made. Okay, the Hollywood Reporter has not confirmed that Josh O'Connor is going to play James Bond. Now, me personally, I think he's a terrible choice, just by looks alone. First of all, nobody's gonna buy monkey ears. This monkey ears douchebag looking Joker here as James Bond. Okay, if you're gonna cast somebody as James Bond, you could he has to be believable in the part. Okay, and if he is cast as if Barbara Broccoli wants to cast him as Barbara Broccoli wants to cast him as James Bond because she wants to get the fans of the movie Challengers in the seats, I think she's an idiot. Okay, because people who watch the movie Challengers don't care about James Bond. Okay, they don't care about those type of movies. Okay, um, if you don't know, I he was in the movie Challengers with Zendaya, and I pointed out on Twitter. I replied on a post on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. Um, that that the reason why Henry Cavill is not going to play James Bond is not because he's too masculine or manly looking. It's because of age. And people say, well, Roger Moore was 45 and Pierce Brosnan was 42. Okay. Um, Me personally, I did not say Henry Cavill was too old. Okay. I said Barbara Broccoli said he's too old. And someone said that was that her Barbara Broccoli wanted a younger actor um, to play the role, saying that it was really Amazon's idea, not hers. I don't know, but let's just say, for the sake of argument, that it was Barbara Broccoli's idea to cast a younger James Bond, and yeah, it makes sense not to cast Henry Cavill because Henry Cavill in his 40s, and they want somebody in their I would say at least in their mid, I would say at least in the early to mid 30s, in the role. And people say no, and I heard a lot of these James Bond peers saying no, that James Bond has to be played by a middle-aged man. He cannot be somebody in his 30s. And this is what I gotta say about that. Who says that James Bond has to be in his? He has to be in this. Has to be some 40-year-old middle-aged man. Man, okay. Sean Connery was in his third was I think he was close to 33 years old when he first played James Bond. So I don't think age really matters all that much. Like I said, I don't think me personally, I do not think Henry. I mean personally, I do not think Henry Cavill is too old. but the studios and Barbara Broccoli probably do think he's too old for the role. Me personally, I do not think he's too old, but let's be realistic here. He's not gonna play James Bond, not just because of age, not just because of age alone. He's too big of a star. His big break was Man of Steel. Yeah, he had other. Yeah, Henry Cavill had other roles. He played other movies before, but his major big break was Man of Steel. And I think that's probably one of the main reasons why he's not playing James Bond, because normally when actors get cast James Bond, um they're not big household names. Now Pierce Brosnan, he was like somewhat known because he was in that '80s horror film called I can't remember the name of it though. He was some '80s horror film. I can't remember. I think it was just called Nomads. I think that was called. I could be wrong, but I think it was like some independent horror movie he was in. Um, was in. Independent horror movie, and I think he was known for that before he took up the reins of James Bond. But even that, though, he was never a big. Before James Bond came out, he wasn't like some big mega movie star when he came out. I think James Bond um, made him a star. I'm sorry, my nose itches. Um, so yeah, me personally, I don't think Henry Cavill is too old. Um, it's probably the studio heads and Barbara Broccoli thinks he's too old. Now somebody on X responded to me saying that was like she changed her mind. That's really Amazon's idea. I don't know, to be perfectly honest. But going back to Josh O'Connor, it's not that he's too young to play James Bond. It's that if you look at a photo of him, um, I know I don't. I hate to cuss on camera though, but if you look at him, he doesn't scream. A photo of him does not scream badass. Okay, it doesn't. It doesn't scream like he's some badass Joker that wants to that can take you out in like a minute. Okay, he's not. I don't buy him as some suave badass super spy. No, I do not. Uh, say all you want about Daniel Craig, but if you look at Daniel Craig, he looks like a badass. He was suave enough, but he still had that, but he was still had that badass quality of to him, where where you look at him, he like, okay, this guy can like take me out like in seconds or minutes, take me out in seconds or minutes. Um, but this Josh O'Connor guy, I really don't see it. If this prediction that Hollywood Reporter made by him being about Josh O'Connor being the next um, James Bond, then I think this is a terrible casting. Um, Now, who will I cast as James Bond besides Henry Cavill? I really don't know. I originally thought Aaron Taylor Johnson could play the role, but after seeing uh, Craven the Hunter, I'm like, yeah, he is not really leading man material. Um, I haven't seen Kick Ass. I haven't seen any of the Kick Ass movies, so I can't comment on those. Um, so yeah, he's not leading man material. Henry Cavill, on the hand, is leading man material. Okay, and don't say Henry Cavill is a bad actor because you didn't like his Superman. Okay, watch the Ministry of Gentlemanly Warfare, and go watch Man of Uncle. Okay, to Guy Ritchie movies, by the way, shows that Henry Cavill can. He actually is a decent actor. Um, but this Joshua Connor guy, I really don't see him as James Bond. I really don't. He looks too goofy. Um, I'm not saying James Bond has to be like this ridiculous. I'm not saying that James Bond has to be this super handsome guy, but he has to be like somewhat good looking. Okay, he has to be someone I believe that women want to sleep with. Okay, that he could easily that I can buy him easily seducing a woman. Okay, I don't look at that Joshua Connor. I really don't see him easily seducing a woman. Okay, but you can say that well, James Bond movies are not realistic. James Bond movies are not realistic. True, they're not, but there has to be like somewhat believability in those movies. Okay, that'd be like I think what was another British actor. That like they cast Rowan Atkinson. I think this the guy he was in those Mr. Bean and Johnny English. That'd be like him playing James Bond. I'm like nobody's gonna buy it, okay? Because nobody's gonna buy Mr. Bean um seducing beautiful women. Okay, that's it. Nobody's gonna buy it, believe it. Okay, nobody's gonna believe that Monkey Ears Josh O'Connor is gonna seduce some gorgeous woman. Okay, that's it's nobody's gonna believe it. And I have talked and rambled on long enough. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to rate, subscribe. Oh, and by the way, do not forget to click that bell. And so if you subscribe to me, click the bell so you get a notification when I post. And take care.